What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of my How to Play Dota 2 series from a perspective of a League player. It's been a while. Sorry for keeping this. Sorry for taking so long. Yeah, finally we're here today. So we are going straight into it about how do you navigate around Dota 2 client and find your first match. There are a few things I want to talk about before you go into a match, so you can take your time, read about things, and learn about the items and heroes in Dota 2 before you're going into a match, because you won't have time to do that during a match. Alright, so here we are. As you can see, when you open up the client, it will look something like this. There's an event going on. To be honest, the event makes it a bit chaotic, to be honest, for new player, but you can click on view event and see what it is about and so on, but we're going to skip that today as it is for a bit advanced, and it's quite confusing when you first start it. So as you can see, here's the UI, the client, and so down here immediately we'll find a play button, but before going into that, I want you to take a look at these tabs over here. So we have settings, and then this button is to change the screen, like between the event or going back and forth of what you have looked at in the past. Right, like a browser basically. And then you have the home button here, and then you have the hero button, armory, and you can watch live streams in the client. You can learn about the game. And then you have arcade over here, which is to play custom games, like you will do back in Warcraft 3 if some of you played that game before. So first of all, when you first started, I highly recommend that you go into the Learn tab, and there are a few things in here. First of all, go through tier 1. This is like a guide, like level 1, right, guide, and go through this is Dota, and then go through how to use teleport, different region items, and your carriers is really important. And then you can try out the first hero, right? And then you go through these tiers. As you play through these tiers, you will get rewards, like stickers and skins and stuff. Right, so it's quite cool, right? And yeah, as you can see, you don't have to complete all of them to play a match. I haven't completed all of them because some of the stuff I already knew from Dota 1, Warcraft Dota, and it's similar to League. But yeah, I recommend that you go through all of them if you can. And yeah, after you have gone through everything, you should have a basic knowledge of how what's important in Dota 2 and what's unique about Dota 2. And we'll also talk about it in future episodes. So, and the next thing you want to go into is this item tab over here. Is in Learn Item. I'll skip glossaries for now and go into item 2, items, to take a time to look at some items, right? However, there's so many items over here. We'll be using this a bit later. Just remember this tab. The reason why is because I'll talk about it a bit later, and you have just gonna talk about these tabs first. You have updates, past events, and credit, right? These are not, you don't really use these, okay? So the next thing you want to do is don't go to armory. This is another confusing part. This is basically to change your skin and things like that, but to be honest, you don't really need to care much about it right now. I recommend that you go into heroes, right? So when you're going to heroes, you have overview over all the heroes available in the game, and at first it's quite confusing. Who do I start with, or things like that. You have some archetypes, warriors, healers, and DPS like that, and yeah, support heroes like that. And but one thing I recommend is you can go down here. You see here you have types, and you have complexity, and tanks, right? So for example, I highly recommend that you start with low complexity, and usually these heroes are really easy to understand and get into, and be good with them, I guess. But the ceiling is so high in Dota 2, you can't really master a hero that easily. Anyways, so you go into low complexity and look at some of the heroes you're interested in, and then you can choose another tag. Maybe you want to play like a glass cannon, or like a engager, like a tank, right? So, and you look at these, right? And for example, my first hero in Dota 2 was Axe, because he was like a orc, right? Cool, with an axe. That reminds me of Gromhouse from Warcraft. So you can click on your hero, and then you can press demo hero, and you will launch you into like training mode, so you can test out abilities and things like that. But we are not going into that today. And yeah, and then when you look at this loadout, right, you can read about the hero's ability here, and you get videos about each ability. Cool. But the next thing which is important is to go into guides here, in there. There's a building guides tab in Dota 2. These guides are created by the community of people who play this hero and upload it there. So I highly recommend that you choose, it can be in a language, any language, just to be honest, but maybe English is best. And then there's Val default guide. Usually it's, to be honest, it's not really that useful. I recommend that you go into, you look at this percentage, right? Go to high percentage guide. For example, this one has 88%, so you can click on select. So what happened is that when you go into a match and you choose this hero, there will also be a guide tab in there, and this guide that you have selected will pop up first, and it will also give you a guidance in game, or to remind you which ability to choose first and which item is recommended according to the guide, right? And here you can also look at the different items, you know, starting items, recommended starting items, and early items, what you should build into it in early game and mid game and late game. So as you can see, there are tons of items, different items, and some of them gives mana and stuff like that, but Axe does not really need mana, you might think. But in Dota 2, item is really like unique in that you use items to counter the enemy heroes. You don't really use heroes to counter heroes. I mean, you do it, you have that aspect as well, of course, but a lot of the times you need certain items to counter a certain hero or certain playstyle. Well, that's why a lot of items are situational, but there are some core items. So I recommend that you focus on these core items first, read them, and understand what they do, right? So that's why if you, for example, want to explore more items, like okay, I have these boots, but what other boots are there, right? You have these ones and these ones, but it's quite hard to see. So I recommend that you actually go back to learn, and then go to this item tab and actually look at yeah, the different items available here, right? For example, you have boots like lined up here. You have 3 boots. Yeah, you can read about them, how, you know, how to build into these, and so on and so forth, right? And yeah, some of the stuff you need Dota Plus to unlock, but I haven't done that, and it's enough to enjoy the game, so you don't really need to think too much about it. Alright, so after you have picked your hero, I recommend that you learn the basic of 2-3 heroes to cover not all 3 tanks maybe, but actually 1 tank, 1 DPS, and 1 support, like that. Or if you don't want to play support, you can, you know, widen your how do you call it, hero pool a little bit. So you're ready to you have learned the basic in the welcome section. You have learned items a little bit. You have set up your guide for your hero you want to play. So what do you do next? You can go into play Dota. So here are different modes. You have custom lobby, which is I don't really use this. And you have play versus bot. If you don't feel like comfortable playing against player immediately, you can go into this mode. There's a co-op versus bot mode, and also solo versus bot mode. Co-op is always more fun, but if you want to take it your own pace, you can go into solo, of course. Yeah, and this bot script, which is like difficulties. Yeah, I reckon just leave it as it is, or well, yeah, I think the bot script we can just leave it as it is. Maybe adjust the bot difficulty down here to medium or easy. Or you can go hard if you want. You know, we're all gamers, so. And then you have ranked, right? Ranked. I'm not going to talk too much about it today, but basically you have like classic draft mode, and you have role queue mode, right? This is role queue. Is basically like League of Legends style. In League of Legends, you create a team first in your interface, and then you choose roles, right? But in Dota 2, you can choose more than 2 roles. You can select all 5 or 2 or 3 like this. What your priorities like, and then queue up like that. Or you can do it the classic style. League of Legends classic style is that you go into the game and then you spam in the chat like mid or safe lane or off lane, right? But it's the same thing with unranked. So in unranked, which is normal game, you have all pick, which is like all the heroes are available. Normal 30 to 40 minutes game mode, and then you have turbo mode. I think this is like the Swift mode in League of Legends. It's like 50 minutes, 20 minutes. There are a lot of there's an increase in gold gain and XP gain, and yeah, things goes faster if you just wanna test out your hero real quick, 10 minutes, play it a bit and see how it goes. You can recommend turbo mode. And then you have more modes down here. So all pick and turbo, which one you want to queue up to. And then you have these 3 modes down here. So single draft means the game will select 4 random heroes for you, and then you can choose one of the heroes to play. This is good when you don't really know who to choose, who to pick, but you just want to try a random hero, you know, and see how it goes. So it's a good mode to discover, find your next maybe main, or to increase your hero pool. And then you have random draft, which is there will be this hero pool here. You get limited to 33 random heroes, and then each team select out of these 33 heroes. So yeah, it's also good for when you don't really know which hero to choose. There are so many of them, so it's good to narrow it down a little bit so you can make a choice, right? And you have ability draft. This one is like a fun mode, right? Like Earth mode in League of Legends. I think it's like you have you can choose create your own hero with abilities combination that you want to try out. But yeah, I don't really play these, to be honest. I usually use this to discover the next hero I might want to play, and then and you can select how do you want them. Like for example, you want normal 30-minute game with single draft mode. Like you want to choose 1 out of 4 heroes, that's fine. Or you can go into turbo mode. You want a quick game, right? You can choose both, right? So you can queue up for multiple modes at the same time and see, which mode is the most popular, and you'll probably get matched up into that. So, and down here finally you have a new player mode. This new player mode, I will say, yeah, also if you just want to take your time, look at the map, run around, try out things, try out different controls and like that, I recommend going to this one and yeah, just have fun, I guess. But usually, when you want to get a bit more serious and simulate how it is to actually play in a PvP or player versus player, right? I recommend that you play versus bot or just go straight into normal, to be honest. Yeah, but the new play mode is totally fine to use to learn about the game. So yeah, I think compared to League, Dota 2 has much better, how do you call it, varieties when it comes to like learning the game, try out heroes, and yeah, things like that. And yeah, when you get familiar with all of this stuff, you can actually customize your hero, which is cool. You can go into your armory, right? So it's quite confusing. So you have heroes, world interface, treasure, and all items like this, right? So all items, you can see all the items you have acquired over the time, but you probably don't have a lot of it. So you can go to treasure and see if you have anything you can open, right? You have these boxes, kind of like loot boxes, which some of them you need to pay money to get a key to open, but you might have some free stuff in your inventory, so check it out. And then next you have interface, which is basically this client, right? And HUD. You can customize basically every bit in your UI in Dota 2, and also voices, announce pack, and stuff like that, right? So yeah, you can take a time and take a look at these things. Also make sure that you unclicked like it here, purchasable, so you don't accidentally buy anything if that is not your intention. Yeah, just check out what you have. And then you have worlds, right? You can change your world skin, you can change your carrier, you can change creep skin. Because I always want this one, but yeah, I haven't been able to spend the money yet. Sorry, Val. And yeah, you can change tower skin and so on and so forth. And finally, you have heroes, right? For example, you have you chose Max Isoman, right? You can see what other skins he has, and yeah, you can create your own custom skin, right? So what it means is that in League of Legends you choose a skin and that's it, but in Dota 2 there are different parts you can change. For example, Axe, he has a weapon you can choose separately, and then he has a helmet you can choose separately, and then there he has like a shoulder pad, right? I like this one because it reminds you of the tier 3. No, what is it? Oh, yeah, the shoulder armor you get from World of Warcraft. And then yeah, you can choose different parts, and after you have choose the different parts, you can save it as your own custom loadout skin, which is really cool, right? It is like let me, for example, this one is my custom set, right? I save it as my set, like here, yeah, and it's really cool. And sometimes this is a bit too much, so you can always go back to the hero and into this here, and then click on customize here, and then you can customize your hero in here. I think it's way better. This is more, how do you call it, a better overview. Okay, and yeah, I think that's it. That's for the client, and I think by the time you have gone through all of this stuff, you should be able to play your first game and try it out and see what you're struggling with, and yeah, follow for future videos. And next time I will make a short videos about the settings, because Dota 2 is such a like button cast heavy game. You also need special control to how do you call it, control your carrier, and yeah, it can get pretty confusing. So I hope I can make a video about it in the future. Alright, then yeah, enjoy your first Dota 2 game, and let me know how it goes. And I see you next time. Peace.